cut right on your face.
Honestly, I'd be fine with that. Why would I be offended? Like,
all right.
only someone who's capable of being offended would be offended by that. Are they gonna be able to see that?
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
You sure?
All right, here we go. They eat their poo-poo and they love
Oh, it's gonna be on the podcast, Caleb. You just said that before. Remember, you said, "Oh my God, it's gonna be on the podcast." Oh my God, what are you doing?
I mean, you've already done it 3 times.
I didn't.
But if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it the way the video does. They eat the poo
and they
eat the poo poo and they love it. Crazy. All right, here we are. We're going over some D&D 1 shit, I guess. So here we go.
No, One D&D. One D&D.
One D&D. That's what it's
One
called.
D&D. Yeah.
We're going over some One D&D
By
stuff.
Jeremy Crawford, Chris Perkins, and Ray Winninger. I don't know the last person. I guess they are possibly new or just someone who I have not heard of yet.
They're probably putting a lot of trust in them, which makes
Ray
sense.
Winninger?
Well, I don't know. They put him on the fucking title, so I'm assuming so.
Yeah, he helped because he helped, so they have to recruit him to it.
Like I said, I'm wearing this because I can't find my hat, and I want something on my head to make me go, make me feel powerful. All right, so Unearthed Arcana 2022 Character Origins by Jeremy Crawford.
Is that your headband of intellect?
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
that's
cool.
what it feels like.
Cool. Wow, nice.
Christopher
I wish I had
Perkins
one.
and Jay Winninger. This document is the first in a series of Unearthed Arcana articles that present material designed for the Player's Handbook coming out in 2024. I like this. First of all, I want to say I like what they're doing here because I do enjoy the fact that they're going piece by piece and getting feedback. They're using D&D Beyond in a very unique way that allows them to get player feedback about what they're planning on doing in the future and whether people like it or not. They're trying to do the best that they can.
Yeah, that is what
with they
D&D
have.
Next was, but we never was around for D&D Next. We were already around when it already came out.
Yeah. But this is great.
Yeah.
I like it. The material here uses the rules in the 2014 Player's Handbook, except where noted. Providing feedback on this document is one way you can help shape the next generation of D&D. Inside, you'll find the following content: character races, character backgrounds, starting languages, feats, rules, and glossaries. And that's what we're going to be seeing in
Big
this
feet.
document. This is play test material. That's what they're saying over here. And then we'll kind of just start over here in the right corner where it says determining your origin. After choosing your character's class, it's time to consider the character's origin. Who are the character's ancestors, and how did the character spend the years leading up to a life of adventure? To help answer these questions, you choose three things for these characters. And this could be our way of creating our first character, right? We can kind of use these resources and see if we can test out what it's like to create a character off these base play test materials here in the new 2024 One D&D.
Yay!
So race, background, and language. A character's race represents ancestry and confers game traits to the character. A character's background is a collection of characteristics that represent the place and occupation that were most formative for the character. The character origin overview table lists the traits your characters gain from race and background. So character origin overview. So creature type. Every character and monster in the game has a creature type. So I guess they're going off of creature type now?
Yeah, they're probably just gonna be diversifying. Like, everyone's not just humanoid now.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
A size, a character's size determines the amount of space the character occupies, as explained in the 2014 handbook. Speed fuels the character's movement, as explained in the 2014 Player's Handbook. I want to play an ogre.
No.
I want to play an ogre.
No.
This lifespan is an average for a member of the race, assuming the dangers of adventure don't shorten that span. Each race provides a special traits, a collection of abilities that characters gain from their ancestors. Ability score improvements. It's going off of the Tasha's rule where a background, it's going to be attached to background now.
Yeah, Tasha's is OP.
Well, touches them wasn't attached to background. They're saying that they're going to probably be attached to the background. A background grants a +2 bonus to one's ability score and a +1 bonus to a different one. So they're going to try experimenting with the ability scores being attached to your background and who you are as a person. Okay, I can see how that could go good. It could go bad.
It can definitely do either one.
We'll see when we are finally able to apply it to something. Skill proficiencies. You get 2 skills proficiency from a background. Each background gets a tool proficiency with 1 tools.
With 1 tool? That's all
language, a character's language, blah, blah, blah. A feat. Each background provides a first level feat. A special ability required in the character's past. They're going to give you...
Just like what they're doing with the
we're doing
current Unearthed Arcanas that they're doing in general.
By the way,
like
we do this already. Mm-hmm. This is already in our group. We already have feats that you can already have in our table.
First level feat or
this is just
ASI.
something that we thought were...
It just makes sense.
It makes more sense than just kind of being like, well, I have nothing. I'm level 1 and I have nothing. Mm-hmm. It gives a little bit more leniency to some things.
And versatility as well.
I think it's fun, and I like that they're starting to add this to the official stuff. Equipment. A background provides a portion of the character's equipment. That's the same thing as before, with the rest coming from class. Race and background together help bring your character's background into focus, and they can distinguish the character from other members of the same class. For example, 2 characters might be both members of the fighter class, but one could be a human guard and the other can be a dwarf gladiator. The two bring different capabilities and flavor to a class. After choosing a race and a background, you choose a language that your character knows in addition to the common tongue and whatever language you gain from the background you choose. The combination of race, background, and language provides fertile soil for your imagination. As you ponder your character's earlier days and imagine the character's family, occupation, hometown, and more. It's basically background stuff. They're giving you the guidelines of creating.
But everyone used to just choose a background so that they can have a certain proficiency.
Yeah.
And a certain skill set. And that's all they wanted. They never actually cared about the background, really. But now your background literally defines who your character is now. So
I guess that could work. It could work. When you choose your character's race, you determine whether your character is a member of the human race or of a fantastical race. So now it's just 2, essentially. This document provides descriptions and rules for human, Ardling, Dragonborn, Dwarf, Elf, Gnome, Halfling, Orc, Tiefling.
So that means this Ardling thing is going to be in the core rule set.
I'm excited for Orc.
Whatever an Ardling. So Ardling is going to be in the core rule set.
That's what they're basically saying.
Is also going to be in the core rule set.
They need to make Orc good again.
Was it ever good?
For years, it was just you get a negative.
Hey, stop calling me dumb.
I'm an Orc.
Just because
I love Orcs.
I'm an Orc.
They're kind of my favorite.
Dad, I'm dumb. Not because I'm an Orc.
And his is this fucking thing right here.
What? Gnome? Just because I choose gnomes on a regular basis doesn't mean I love them.
The description of each race includes a section of game traits which your characters gain if you select the race. NPCs of the same ancestries don't necessarily have the same traits as explained in the monster manual. The traits here pertain to player characters.
Oh, so they're trying to say that you can't just pick an orc from the monster manual?
I want to play an ogre, but they didn't put that in the player's handbook.
You can't. It's not in the player's handbook, Caleb. Stop asking for it. It's not in the player's handbook.
I want to play an ogre.
Well, when you get a little bit of Jeremy Crawford's ear, and you whisper into it...
Put ogre in!
Jeremy Crawford, put ogre in.
Put ogre in, Jeremy Crawford.
I know you're gonna see this.
Yeah, who knows?
I know
it could happen.
You think
wow, incredible.
You think so, bro?
I don't know.
Maybe I might give you a kiss on the cheeks, you never know. What? Is that for him
That's
not
a child reaction.
Oh, wow.
Children of different humanoid kinds thanks to the magical works of the multiverse, humanoids of different kinds sometimes have children together.
What?
For example, folk who have a
impossible.
human parent and an orc, or an elf parent, or a particular common, many other combinations are possible. I do this all the time. It's not only because I'm mixed,
Yep.
and I love the fact that you can mix and match. I just think it makes more sense, because if you have a whole bunch of different things going around, why are just elves fucking elves and humans messing with humans? I don't think that would make too much
But
sense.
It's kind of someone already did that before they did that. Orcs, an orc and an elf have a baby.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yep.
That's a PDF you should probably check out. It's a fantastic PDF. They recently came out with a second one, and they do a great job with creating guidelines for 5th edition. This is
Which
not for 5th
apparently
edition.
it's going to transfer to it though. So it's literally
It's great.
it's gonna be very easily translatable to
I just think it's great.
One D&D.
I think I love it. If you'd like to play the child of such a wondrous pairing, choose 2 race options that are humanoid to represent your parents. Then determine which of the race options provide your game traits, size, speed, special traits. Then you can mix and match. They're literally taking it from that.
Yeah.
That PDF has done
That's
wonders
the
for
basis.
the D&D
That's
community.
basically the basis of this.
It's
right
the
here.
basis of that PDF. That's great. I love to see that they're taking stuff like that and they're actually applying it to the reality of what
also
D&D is.
they're also telling you, please understand that your character is a real person,
That's what
and
it
they
matters.
have a face
Literally.
that is made up of their parents, and they have eyes and ears and height and differentiality made up of their parents, and they're not just a stat block. Your character isn't
Not
a stat block.
But that's what people are still going to do because that's how it always has been. No, it hasn't. If you'd like to play the child of such a wondrous pairing, blah, 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 the color, ear shape, and the like, basically just think about it, guys. It's not too hard to actually think about it.
They're
You just
thinking. They're
combine.
literally telling you think about the freaking color of your character. What is the base color of your character? Come on.
It's so
This
good.
is-
What I'm worried about is like a lot of different things. Is like when we get into the elf section, what are we going to have with dark elves? And we're going to have a whole podcast on that one because that's a very special topic to us, and
Well-
we have a very opinionated thing on that.
We don't know how
heavy
they're-
opinionated.
You don't know how much they're going to change the
They're-
base ruling of how, or the origin of what these characters are going to be now, because it's a different book. It's a new book.
Yeah, it could be completely different. I'm just curious what they're doing with dark elves because those are, regardless of me loving orcs, regardless of you loving gnomes, they're still our favorite. We're black, okay. First of all, I don't care what people say that there's going to be a special connection when it comes to that race and us.
Exactly.
So we love it. We'll get into that when we get into that. Human. Found throughout the multiverse, humans are as varied as they are numerous. They are relatively short-lived, but they strive to achieve as much as they can in the years they are given. They are skilled pioneers and artisans. They are builders of nations, roads, cities, and ships.
Bills of Nations.
They strive to secure their place in the world and in the annals of history by creating art, amassing wealth, making laws, and questing for immortality. Their ambition and
Immortality.
resourcefulness
Very good.
are commended, respected, and feared. Humans are as diverse in appearance as the people of Earth, and they have many gods. Scholars dispute the origin of humanity, but one of the earliest known human gatherings is said to have occurred in Sigil! Look at that, my friend!
So that means Planescape is going to be a thing?
It seems as though
Because
they're trying to...
they're introducing Sigil in the first...
This is the fucking player's handbook.
Exactly.
They might be looking to make an adventure really quick on that.
Planescape might come back. Planescape might come back. I repeat, Planescape might come back.
The Taurus-shaped city as the center of the multiverse and the place where the common tongue was born.
So, Sigil is
Dude!
the origin of the world.
I hate Sigil.
I love Sigil.
I love Sigil.
I love Sigil.
My character hates Sigil. We'll get into that stuff because we can start going into different paths of conversation.
Because
very
Sigil is
quickly.
literally the melting pot of the universe.
is.
Every corner of Sigil connects to one different plane in one shape or another. And so the fact that they're making this the new Toril,
It's great. I love it. I love it.
I really hope it's replacing Toril, because that would be amazing.
From there, humans could have spread to every corner of the multiverse,
Exactly.
including Sigil's cosmopolitan. I hate that. I hate saying words I can't pronounce.
Cosmopolitism? I don't even know what that means, but it's cosmopolitism.
With them. So they go over the humanoid traits. So looking at what they're planning on doing, they're giving the creature type, the size, which is medium or small, speed 30 feet, 80 years on average. As a human, you have these special traits: resourcefulness. You gain inspiration whenever you finish a long rest. Okay, so they're trying to make them sort of inventors, essentially.
Or just bit. That since we've been around so long,
when we rest, we come up with, we're like, oh, this is what I want to do.
Exactly.
You gain proficiency in one skill of your choice. That's always been there, but it's always a good thing. Mm-hmm. Now, built into the human stat block, it's not just varied human. It's just what humans get. They get a proficiency, or they get a skilled feat or another first level feat of your choice.
Skilled feat is a new thing.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. We'll find out very quickly, huh? Because they have that labeled in this PDF.
It also says another feat.
Or another. It says or another.
Yeah, that means you can.
There's a first level
you forgot
feat.
you can always choose. Yeah.
And
now,
also, you're seeing level feats here. Mm-hmm. Feats are going to be completely different from what we see, and I'm very curious to see what they're going with.
That's what they were doing with Tasha. Tasha's opened everything.
I mean,
Tasha was
their best. It's their best source,
and people loved it so much, and they used it so widely in their games now that they're just like, well, I guess this is going to be the basis for One D&D now. It's fuck it. They love it so much.
Well, that's what people were waiting for. We've all been waiting for what Tasha did to D&D. Humans of many worlds are on any given world in the multiverse. The material cultures of humans can change from one region to another. In the Forgotten Realms, for example, the clothing, the architecture, the cuisine, the music, and the literature are wildly different in the Western Heartlands than in the north of Icewind Dale. As humans migrate, they bring elements of their culture with them, giving rise to diverse settlements that contain people with indifferent physical characteristics, not to mention a medley of clothing styles, customs, and beliefs.
I wonder if they're now going to start adding the different human races that were in Magic the Gathering, because Magic the Gathering has a diverse set of different human races. Essentially, like how we have Black, White, Hispanic, and Puerto Rican and everything, that different race type of human, aside from everyone's just a human. If they have those different subcategory of humans, I'm wondering if that's going to be a thing that they're going to do now.
I love it. I love it so far.
It would help the players understand the diversity of culture within the world that is possible.
Yeah. And clearly, depending on every single world, because everyone's going to have a different version of the world.
It doesn't have to give you anything extra or anything like that.
You can do whatever you want.
It could just be flavor text. Well, okay, this is what these people believe. This is usually their subset of gods that they believe in. Mm-hmm. And this is what they usually wear in the climate that they're in. And this, because of that, great. Their skin color or their hairstyle or, if things like that are more integrated into the actual lore of the the player races that we're going to have, then that opens up so much.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just...
They're human.
They are dark elves. They live in Underdark. We'll go into the new ones now. An Ardling. And Ardlings are supernal.
So supernal is the first language. The language of the gods, so that's...
Sigil. I don't know.
No, the language of the gods are what the...
Oh, so it's kind of like Aasimar.
Yes.
So they're just changing the word from... It might be just... Or
like what XYZ speaks.
Yeah. Oh,
he speaks as supernal.
Who are either born on the upper planes or have one or more ancestors who originated there. So this is like...
So they're actually born
planes,
there.
I think the upper planes are like the heavens.
Yes. So they're actually born there.
Those are Aasimars.
They're not... Aasimars are born in the material plane.
Oh, so these things are just built...
They're just born in the Mount Olympus, basically. Mount Celestia.
Oh, boy.
For us, Mount Celestia.
God, now they're
So-
even more arrogant. No.
Maybe. I don't know.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Oh, those rolls.
It's just what people do with the fucking base rates, dude.
Well, we'll read. If they say that they're arrogant, then that's what they are.
Their bright souls shine with the light of immortal beings who call the upper planes home. An Ardling has a head resembling that of an animal, typically one with virtuous association. Depending on the animal, the Ardling might also have soft fur, downy feathers, or supple bare skin. Why is supple? That's a weird word. The Ardling.
Maybe
the
they might be
Ardling's
like
celestial
cute as fuck. You know.
Legacy determines the animal it resembles. An Ardling gains a measure of magical powers from their celestial legacy, as well as the ability to manifest spectral wings. An Ardling moral and ethical outlook, its depth self-determined, however not fixed by an ancestry. The 3 celestial legacies are as followed. We get 3 of them. Exalted. The fierce passions of Ouroboros. The heroic heart of Isgard. That, by the way, this is North mythology
yeah,
right
North.
here.
I don't
And
know
it's
about
really
this.
hard
That's
to
all,
talk
yeah,
about.
That's all your
Dude,
stuff. I don't know.
I
anything
know
about
this stuff. I actually know this shit. The Beastlands, bro.
I only know Yggdrasil.
No Banyan. I could create someone who actually knows no Banyan.
You always
Can
could.
we create? Hey, can we create some lore on No Banyan? Come on, the DM's guide something. No Banyan needs some love.
I don't think Nabanian's getting any love. I'm gonna tell you that for
The
free.
Lion King needs his day in the sun. Okay.
But too bad he's not there.
The heroic heart of Ysgard and the wondrous nature of the Beastlands. I love the Beastlands. I don't think people use it enough. Called to Ardlings, who have the exalted celestial legacy. Their celestial ancestors are heroic champions of the chaotic and good
once
planes.
again, like you were saying, are they going to be assholes? Well, it would be based off of
This.
these 3, and
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like that's diversifying where they come from and how they act and how they look. That's actually literally what I was talking about.
And this also,
And it has
adding the
nothing to do with their
Beastlands,
stats.
yeah, adding the Beastlands and that kind of stuff makes it make more sense why they have like these animal-like qualities, these random patches of fur that they could have, or like even just having a beak like an Aasimar. I'm not, sorry, you know what I mean. Eric
Croker.
I love this shit. This is great. Heavenly, the blissful harmony of Arcadia, the unwavering justice of Mount Celestia,
Yeah.
and the bucolic paradise of Bitopia. Bitopia!
Bitopia, I don't know.
Dude, I
Yeah,
love
that's all
this
you.
stuff.
That's all you. I don't know any of this.
Touch the souls of Ardlings who have the heavenly celestial legacy. Their celestial ancestors are staunch defenders of the lawful good planes. Bitopia is actually one of the few things that I've that I don't remember the name of the guy. He does some really good lore videos. He actually went over with Bitopia.
Mr. Rex?
Yeah, there you go, Mr. Rex. He actually does some really good lore videos. He went over Bitopia, and it's such an interesting place because the lawful good planes are so weird. They're all because every single area there are so it's just so set by their own standard of what laws are, and it's all dependent on the place that you come from, and it's really interesting hearing like that because I don't remember like the specifics, but I know enough that I'm just like,
oh, I recognize the name.
weird.
Yeah.
Idyllic. The Idyllic, I could be completely wrong there.
Or
I could butcher it.
idyllic.
It's really weird name. Celestial legacy connects Ardlings not only to the Beastlands and Bitopia, but also to the eternal compassion of Elysium. Their celestial ancestors are paragons of kindness who hail from the neutral good planes. Okay. I know this stuff, but I'm also going to look it on the side. I don't know what can potentially pop up because I don't trust Google nowadays. Ever.
Henny.
You can be trying to look up the most...
and you get the henny.
you get the henny. You can be trying to look up the most passive thing on the planet, and then you get an asshole on the screen. I'm not going to risk that. So Elysium, blah, blah, blah. We found near the banks of the Oceanium, blah, blah. I just want to know what they are. So literally what they're referring to with this place... Sorry, that was a lot of spit.
Yeah, you just spit everywhere.
I'm just excited. So you can see from like that map right there is that it's literally just layers of different places that have different sets of laws and different sets of ideals that kind of like make up what these laws can be made in different areas of the world, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's all you once again. I don't know anything about this.
It's just
this is
a
the first
lot.
time I'm seeing this. Yeah,
It's a lot, but it's cool. So Elysium, I'm just giving you the brief description of what this kind of stuff is. I don't know everything because I mostly listen to this stuff while I'm working, but that's beyond the point. Twin paradises of Biotopia, blah blah blah. Description: 2 layers which happen to span the entire sky about 10 miles above sea level. Blah blah. That's not what I'm looking for. Just looking at maps and stuff, you can see that there are layers that are labeled that weirdly, it's so complicated, and I can understand why they didn't include stuff like this in modern D&D because it's so much, it's so complicated, and just starting to read some of this stuff, you realize I don't want to read that.
Well, I mean, this is where they could probably have Book of the Gods as like a separate thing, where they could literally just have.
I think this would be healthy.
Large detail about the gods and their origin stories and how they connect to the current editions. I mean,
I think they're going a very good way by like including things they haven't included in a long time. Mm-hmm. It seems as though they're looking to find an edition that they include everything all in once in a very compact and efficient manner, which I would love, but is a very hard task to do. All right, let's look at this. The Ardlings are humanoids. They have a speed of 30 feet. They can be medium or small. Lifespan of 200 years. So they live
pretty long.
Pretty long. Almost, they live double the lifespan of a human, and a little bit longer. As an Ardling, you have these special traits. You have angelic flight. As a bonus action, you sprout spectral rings for a moment and fly up to a number of feet equal to your speed. If you are in the air at the end of this moment, you fail. If nothing is holding you aloft. You can use this bonus action a number of times to your proficiency. Blah blah blah, and that's basically it. Depending on your legacy, they can give you what kind of animal you look like.
Oh, so that
because
has
they're
more
all
to do
attached
with it too.
to the Beastlands.
Okay.
I love that they're including a race that's strictly mostly about the Beastlands, and the Upper Plains itself. Including them is very fun. It's a very fun thing because no one.
So yeah,
really...
and also it's suggested animals, which is awesome because that would help you kind of understand what's there, and that helps out so much.
Pig people, dude. Ugh.
I mean, then don't pick pig people. You just don't tell everyone.
This is a furry's. Yeah. This is a furry's wet dream.
Could be or could be not.
I don't know. I can see it going really south here. We can have any animal. Incredible. All right, so
I mean, we already have gnolls. We already have gnolls. So
well, the thing is, now it's every.
Yeah. And Tabaxis, we have Tabaxis already.
D&D is all inclusive.
Yeah, exactly.
Celestial legacies. Legacies exalted. They suggest cat, eagle, goat, mule, and you get first level thaumaturgy, third level divine favor, fifth level lesser restoration. Heavenly, they suggest elephant, owl, pig, or stork. First level light, third level cure wounds, fifth level zone of truth. Idyllic, bear, dog, raven, toad, guidance, healing word, and animal messenger. They are attaching the Beastlands heavily to this race, as you can see. As regardless of where you are from the Upper Plains, the Beastlands take a very heavy influence in all of that because nature is everywhere.
Well, they're just apparently animalistic
creatures.
Yeah. Whatever these things are that we don't know about.
Oh my gosh, we're just getting a whole bunch of lore here. Oh, this is a lot. Okay, get ready for learning about Ardlings here, people. You are the recipient of a celestial legacy that grants you magical abilities. Choose a legacy from the celestial legacies table. Exalted, chaotic. Oh, they're telling you, but what we basically already described to you, right?
Yes.
So to help you guys understand exactly what I did just say, because I didn't really explain it that well. So exalted, if you choose the exalted, they're saying at first level, regardless of what class you've chosen, You will get access to the first level spell Thaumaturgy, third level spell Divine Favor, and fifth level spell Lesser Restoration when available to you. Same thing with Heavenly, with the spells that are attached on the right, and the Idyllic as well. So in a way, this is what they're explaining here in the Celestial Legacies. You're getting these when you reach third level.
Yeah, when you character level.
When your character level is third, just to make sure that is noted, because it can be very easily miscued. And that's really it. The only difference is Intelligent Wisdom or Charisma is your spellcasting ability for the spells. You cast this trait. Basically, you choose which one you want to use because it's dependent on what's your best stat out of the three. You have resistance to radiant damage.
Yeah.
There you go. Ardlings of many worlds. Ardlings bring a little bit of the upper planes with them wherever they go. On many worlds, the first Ardlings use the magic of the Celestial Legacies to inspire and heal others. By virtue of their Celestial Legacies, some Ardlings strive to make the world a better place. Others use their supernal gifts to be the best versions of themselves they can be. Still, others are delighted to have the connection to the upper planes without the responsibility of always having to do the right thing.
I want to do the right thing. I want to do the chaos.
Creating a rogue, an evil rogue.
I would like them to expand on what their reasons for traveling the world are. Sure, healing people would make sense, but that's not the only thing that they want to do. I mean, it would. Once again, I'm assuming they're going to expand on that once they're actually in the player's handbook type deal. But it would be definitely nice to know, because I don't know. We don't know anything about these guys.
No.
This is the first time hearing of what an Ardling is. I don't even think these were older edition creatures either.
I don't think so either. I love it. I think it's fantastic extending player races like that. It's fun. Okay, here we go. This is one of the most highly debatable races because people like to talk about Dragonborn because
debatable.
That's just a very popular race. The earliest Dragonborn hatched from the eggs from chromatic and metallic dragons. One story holds that these eggs were blessed by the dragon gods Bahamut and Tiamat, who wanted, moving up, to populate the world of dragons with people created in their image. Another story holds that dragons created the first Dragonborn without the gods' blessing. Whatever their origin, Dragonborns have made their home here on the material plane. Dragonborn look like wingless. They made sure to tell you guys this, that they are wingless, or hopefully they can expand to make it wherever the fuck you want it to be.
I mean, you have the dragon touch thing, so I mean,
you can make it whatever you want.
They already put placeholders in front of that.
They're basically saying, okay, they're wingless. Stop debating this right now, I guess. Bipedal dragons, scaly, bright-eyed, and thick-boned, with horns on their head. Dragonborns with chromatic ancestry have scales that are black, blue, green, red, or white, whereas Dragonborn of metallic ancestry have scales that are the color of brass, bronze, copper, gold, or silver. When two Dragonborn, whose scales are of different colors, produce a child, their offspring scales match those of one parent or the other. Like their draconic ancestors, the Dragonborn can exhale acid, cold, fire, lightning, or poison. One can tell the type of energy of a dragon breathes by the color of their Dragonborn scales. Dragonborn traits.
Dragonborn.
5 to 7 feet tall, like normal people. 30 feet. They normally have a humanoid lifespan. They have 80 years. Your lineage stems from the dragon progenitor. Chooses the type of dragon from the draconic ancestry, blah, blah, blah. The chosen dragon type also affects your appearance with your displaying. They're extending what they recently did with the new Dragonborn to this edition of Dragonborn, where you're tapping the acid type, blah, blah, blah. The breath weapon. Yep, this breath weapon is exactly the same as what they did with the updated Dragonborn. So there's not really much difference there. Blah, blah, it's just draconic ancestry.
Except the tacked on extra damage, it looks like, plus your character level. I mean, it could be a D10 plus 20, apparently.
On a failed... It is plus your character level.
Huh?
That is new.
Yeah.
Okay, well they just added character level to it because it still didn't feel strong to them. Apparently, a lot of people will be happy about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have resistance to whatever color you basically chose. You have dark vision within 60 feet. You instinctively know the language of dragons, and you can therefore speak, read, and write Draconic. Here we go. Here's some lore that they are planning on putting in the new edition of Dragonborn. Once again, you can give feedback here on D&D Beyond, or whatever resources you're using that allows you to give feedback. Like dragons, Dragonborn have a mystic bond to the material plane and are spread across its many worlds. On some worlds, the earliest Dragonborn settlements were built near dragon lairs so that the Dragonborn could pay tribute to their draconic progenitors.
So this is also like really telling you that they're trying to just emphasize multiverse. They're trying really hard to be like, hey,
Do what you want.
this is just what we want for our canon lore, but you guys are always open for interpretation. And this is also new lore too.
Yeah. This is great. I'm loving everything about this because they're really just they're opening up everything as far as just like play whatever D&D you want to play, guys. We're giving you some guidelines. We're telling you what we would do in our world and what we've established in the Swords Coast. And then that's it, guys. Come on, just let's not overthink everything. And not every little thing has to be overthought. Many of these ancient settlements still exist. For example, the dragon-ruled continent of Argonius, on the world of Eberron, has dragonborn cities tucked among its mountain ranges. On other worlds, dragonborns plied their skills in settlements populated mostly by non-dragonborn, fulfilling an urge to expand their presence and influence much as dragons do.
So they expand their terrain and territory.
Yeah, they're still human though. But there's nothing wrong with wanting to be stronger, be greater.
Exactly.
Strive for more.
Exactly.
Dwarves. Resilient like the mountains, dwarves were raised up from the earth in the early days by a deity of the forge, called by various names on different worlds. Moradin, Ryrix, and others. The gods gave dwarves an affinity for stone and metal, for living underground, squat, and often bearded.
And also, it's finally tells us why they know so much about stone and metal.
The gods gave dwarves the affinity.
Yeah, the gods
for
gave
stone
them
and
the
metal for
affinity.
living underground. The original dwarves carved cities and strongholds into mountainsides and under the earth. Their oldest legends tell of conflicts with the monsters of mountaintops and the Underdark. Mostly the Underdark because they live underground and the Underdark sucks. Whether those monsters were towering giants and subterranean horrors, inspired by those tales, dwarves of any cultures often sing of valorous deeds, especially of the little overcoming the mighty. Humanoid. Dwarf traits humanoid, size medium, speed 30, lifespan 350 years on average. Dwarves live long, man.
350.
They have dark vision of 60 feet. They have dwarven resilience, which they have resistance to poison damage, and they brought back the advantage on saving throws against the poison condition. Dwarven toughness, your hit point maximum increases by 1 and increases by 1 again whenever you level up. Forge-wise, your divine creator gave you an uncanny affinity for working with stone or metal. You gain tool proficiencies with the following: jewels, tools, mason's tools, smith's tools, or tinkerer's tools.
So dwarven toughness, though.
That can be very strong.
So it's a built-in tough feat, reduced by 1, essentially.
Your hit point maximum is increased by
by
1 and then increased by 1 again whenever you level up. So it's just an extra hit point each level. So technically, let's just say you get to 20, right?
Yeah.
You would get 20 extra hit points. It's not much, but it can be.
Along with that, with the tough feat, I mean, you're building a character that don't die.
We'll see if they even have the tough feat again. They could be getting rid of it.
I'm sure they will.
Well, there's some feats that should stay and some feats that should go.
We don't know what they're planning on doing. I clearly just want to see more new feats. I don't want to see the old feats.
I want to see new feats too.
That's all I want to see. I don't want to see everything, all the new recycled shit.
Well, we're gonna see.
We're probably gonna see lots of new, old recycled shit though.
As a bonus action, you gain Tremor Sense. Oh, Jade Fist. Oh no. Your uniqueness is gone.
Well, I mean, that's not a real class, so.
It wasn't even like it was built into who he was.
Yeah.
With a range of 60 feet or for 10 minutes, you must be a stone surface or on a stone surface or touching such a surface to use this Tremor Sense. The stone can be natural or worked. You can use this bonus action a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest.
Tremor Sense, 60 feet for 10 minutes.
That's
dumb long.
Doors of many worlds. On some worlds in the multiverse, first Dwarven settlements were built in hills or mountains. And the Dwarven families who trace their ancestries to those settlements call themselves hill dwarves or mountain dwarves, respectfully. Orth and Kryn, the world of Greyhawk and Dragonlance settings, respectfully.
So they're bringing back Dragonlance again? Because they keep talking about it, and they keep rejecting it and bringing it back and rejecting it and bringing it back.
Who knows what they're doing?
I don't know what to do with Dragonlance, dude. I haven't even seen Dragonlance, so I don't know anything about it.
Are examples of worlds that have such dwarven communities.
Mwah.
In other worlds, dwarves have given themselves other cultural designations. For example, on the continent of Faerun and the Forgotten Realms, the dwarves of the south call themselves gold dwarves.
Wait, what?
And the dwarves of the north are shield dwarves.
I know shield dwarves. We never heard of gold dwarves. What the hell? What are gold dwarves? Are they gold? Are they just golden? Are they just golden dwarves? Are they just golden?
They call themselves.
Are they just? They have blonde hair, blue eyes, blonde hair, blue eyes. Little pretty boys.
I don't know why they call themselves that. Here we go. Here's a big one.
The elf is on fire. We don't need no water. Just let the elf burn.
Created by Corlon, the first elves
most beautiful,
could change
Corlon.
their physical forms at will. The elves lost this ability when Corlon exiled them
because they were getting too assholey
from Averdor, or Arvendor, for plotting with another elven deity called Law, who tried and failed to usurp Corlon's dominion.
I remember
When
that day.
Loth was cast down into the abyss, most elves renounced her treachery and earned Corlon's forgiveness.
Woo!
But that which Corlon had taken away from the elves was lost forever. No longer able to shapeshift at will, the elves retreated to the Feywild, where their sorrow was deepened by that plane's influence. Over time, wanderlust and curiosity led many of them to explore other planes of existence, including various worlds in the material
So the Feywild made them more depressed.
I guess. That's what they're saying here.
That's the lore, dude. It's canon.
Elves have the mystical ability to take on characteristics of the environment with which they are bonded, drow, to the Underdark. They called them drow here.
Yes, it says drow.
That's a
Not
good
dark
step.
elves.
That's a step in the right direction.
Please,
as far as
they're called freaking drows. They're not called dark elves. They're called drows. They're not called dark elves. They're called drows.
High elves to Fey crossing in the material plane, and wood elves to forests. These connections grant elves access to certain kinds of magic. Woo. Elves are blessed with long lives and long memories.
And long legs.
From birth, they don't sleep but instead enter a trance when they need rest. In this state, elves remain aware of their surroundings while immersing themselves in their own memories. What an elf remembers during this revere depends largely on how long the elf has lived and the events that have shaped the elf's existence. Elves have pointy ears and tend to be light on their feet. Another common physical characteristic of elves is their lack of facial and body hair. They made sure to put that into elf.
Don't got body hair.
Or facial.
Official hair. They're just a pretty boy, a pretty girl.
Pretty boy, pretty. 750 years on average is the new one.
$750. Oh my god. My god. Oh my god. Oh my.
That's a several millennia. 30 feet speed, medium. They apparently don't really have the ability to be small. So there's that. Just of note. That's something that's changed with this race compared to the others.
But Tasha, you could do it anyways.
You could do whatever the fuck you want.
You could do it with Tasha.
Just remember that.
Yes, remember that.
They're
please.
saying these things are medium.
That's what just the player's handbook is going to be.
Yeah. As a special trait, these guys have 60 feet of dark vision.
Yay.
You are part of an elven lineage that grants you supernatural abilities.
Yay.
Choose a lineage from the elven lineage table.
Yay.
Drow! They're using the word drow.
Yay.
The lineage of the Underdark.
Yay.
High Elf.
Yay.
The lineage of the Fey Crossing and other magical locations. And Wood Elf. The lineage of primal forests. You gain the first level benefit of that lineage.
Wait, where is our Ladrin?
They are not including this in the player's handbook. Starting at 3rd level, and again at 5th level, you gain the ability to cast a spell with this trait. It's the same thing of which we were going over earlier with the Ardens. I think that's the name of them.
Yeah.
Where you're able to get a spell that you can cast regardless of class you have at a certain level.
So they're just stealing from Pathfinder 2nd Edition, and it's okay.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Literally.
You can't beat them, join them.
Yes, exactly.
So here we go. However, you can cast the spells using any spell slot if you have an appropriate level. Essentially,
Finally,
if you have
the spell slots, why can you not cast them anyways?
literally. Intelligence, wisdom, or charisma is your spellcasting ability. You choose which one you want to use. Fey ancestry, you have advantage on saving throws. So you make to avoid or end the charm condition. That's always been a thing. Keen senses, proficiency in perception skill. Trance makes its return. You don't need to sleep. And magic can't put you to sleep. You can finish a long rest in 4 hours if you spend those 4 hours in a trance like meditation, during which you retain consciousness. You meditate, not sleep. Keep in mind, it says you don't need to sleep. You can. You can sleep.
Yep.
You don't need to.
Yep.
It's important to realize that you could do that. It's not saying you can't. So drows get access.
But also the other thing too that they didn't. I don't remember them including is the fact that you retain your consciousness and the aware of your surroundings. I don't think that was original. I don't think that was original like that. Because that's definitely
crazy. That's weird. Wood elves, long strider and pass without a trace. High elves, detect magic and misty step. Drows, fairy fire and darkness. They also get an expanded dark vision of 120 feet and know the dancing light cantrip. High elves get the access to prestidigitation, and you can replace that cantrip with a different cantrip from the arcane spell list. So they get an extra cantrip, essentially, maybe. Or if you don't want prestidigitation, you can choose a different one. What else?
Wait, that's interesting.
Yeah, so you know the precision. Whenever you finish a long rest,
exactly.
you can replace the cantrip with a different cantrip. You can just continue change your cantrips.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
I like that. They just replace a kid. I like that.
I do too. Your speed increases to 35, and you also know the druid craft. Yes. No one's gonna like that, but I appreciate it.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. You appreciate it, Cal.
Elves of many worlds. Here we go.
Elves of many
After leaving the Feywild, elves established deep roots on worlds throughout the multiverse. Within their respective domains, elves often use their magic and other resources to build fabulous enclaves. The subterranean cities and outposts of the Drow, the gleaming towers and citadels of the High Elves, and the forest sanctuaries of the Wood Elves are nothing short of architectural wonders, which reflect their builders' otherworldly origins. Drow! Known for their white hair and dusky gray skin tones, Drow typically dwell in the Underdark. Noteworthy exceptions include Dritz Duarden and Jarlaxle, two Drow adventurers of the Forgotten Realms who shun their subterranean homelands. Some Drow societies avoid the Underdark altogether. On the world of Eberron, for example, Drow dwell in gloomy rainforests and Cyclopean ruins on the continent of Exendric. So basically, what they're making sure that is noteworthy here and is incredibly important because it was a big
Your drows
debate.
can be anywhere.
You can do whatever
Your
you
drows can be
fucking
anywhere.
want. Okay,
Your drows can be anywhere. They're called anywhere drows now.
you do what you want. This is what their origins were, and they can be kept that way if you choose to continue that in your story and your adventure in your world. But you don't have to do that. You can do whatever the hell you want. High elves. On some worlds, high elves refer to themselves by other names. For example, the sun elves and moon elves of Toril, the world of the Forgotten Realms, are high elves, as are the Sylvanesti and Quilnastio. Oh, that's
Yeah,
these
right.
fucking
Like
words,
his
of
butcher.
Kryn in the world of Dragonlands, and the Arini of Eberron. I butchered the hell.
They
out.
got a bunch of names we can't
I
say.
butchered them.
A bunch of names that we can't say, and that's okay.
Wood elves are known across the multiverse by many other names, including wild elves, green elves, and forest elves. Green elves?
Because they got wood.
Yeah, I'm
They
a
got-
green elf. A
I
Goyven.
actually don't think they sound like that. I think they say,
I'm a
no,
Goyven.
they say, I am a wood elf.
We're green and we're green elves.
No, I don't call myself a
Goyven.
green. I don't call myself
I
that.
got asthma.
Well, then go and get your pump. or
Our
whatever.
reclusive wood elves on Orth, a world of Greyhawk setting.
Yes, we use Greyhawk every day.
They really are hammering that one home.
I mean, I like that.
Yeah, same. Well, the blah 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 and the blah 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 are
What?
wood elves of blah 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 blah.
What?
I can't say those words.
Wow.
Here you go. Here, guys.
Gnomes are magical folk created by God's hard work, invention, trickery, and life of underground. The earliest gnomes were seldom, but their other folk due to the gnomes' secretive nature and their prosperity of leering for sylvan forests, hillside burrows, and sprawling warrens under mountains. What they lack in size, they made up for cleverness and cunning. They confounded predators and elaborate traps in low, narrow labyrinth tunnels. They also learned to use magic from gods like Jarl Glitter Gold.
Ew.
It's a god. You can't even say ill to a god and an entire god. Baravin, Wild Wanderer, and Baravar Cloak Shadow, who was a god, who often lived among them, usually in disguise. Interesting. Gnomes are petite folk with huge eyes, pointed ears, and wistful imagination, harking back to the times when I can butcher words too, harkening back to times when their ancestors hid in tunnels and under tight, thick forest canopies. Many gnomes like the feeling of having a roof over their head, and even if the roof is nothing more than a hat.
Oh, they just like to be.
They can be homeless as well. I am fine with being
I feel
homeless.
naked up here.
Ew! Gnomes are humanoids. Not gnomes. They're not just gnomes. They're small, of course, 3 to 4 feet. 30 feet walking speed, 425 years on average. Ooh, they got that thick lifespan. They have dark vision, of course, up to 60 feet. Gnome cunning, you get advantage on intelligence, wisdom, charisma saving throws.
Holy shit.
They have always had that, yeah.
That's still dumb.
Yes, it is. The fact that they're bringing it back.
It's so dumb still.
No.
Go ahead.
You're a part of a gnomish lineage that grants you supernatural abilities. Choose from lineages from the gnomish language table within forest gnomes, rock gnomes, and that's it. Yeah. You use your brain or your wisdom or your charisma for the spellcasting modifiers.
So this is new.
Yeah. Gnomish language, lineage benefits. Forest gnome, you know the minor illusion cantrip, and you can also cast speak with animals with this trait. You can cast it with this trait as many times equal to your proficiency bonus, so that scales then, and regain all expanded uses after a long rest. You can also use spell slots you have to cast a spell, which is freaking awesome, of course.
Should be how it was to be.
It always really
Beyond the point.
Rock gnome, you get mending and pestilence cantrip. That's it.
It's good enough.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
No, whoa. In addition, you spend 10 minutes casting Prestidigitation, create a tiny clockwork device. Okay, so they, instead of using like Tinker's tools and everything, you just
make it.
Yeah, you use
Using your brain.
Prestidigitation to make it, apparently. Kind of building the parts all together, I guess, simultaneously weaving this creation together with a spell. Okay. It's got an AC of 5 and 1 hit point, such as a toy, fire starter, or music box. So they're still bringing that stuff back. Casting the spell consumes 10 gold pieces of raw materials, strings, gears, and the like, which you provide during the casting.
Okay.
So they're saying that you could sell that shit for free, basically. When you create the device, you determine the function by using one of the effects of prestidigitation. The effects of the device can affect wherever you are or a creature. It takes a bonus action to take the device and activate it. If the chosen effect has an option within it, you choose one of the options you use for the dice to create it. For example, if you choose the spell's Ignite Extinguish effect, you determine whether the device ignites or extinguishes fires. The device doesn't do both.
Holy crap, this is a lot.
Yeah, just for one dude. You can have 3 such devices existence all at the same time, and each of them dismantle itself after 8 hours of the creation. So they just go...
Literally con machines, dude. They can con people so easily.
Literally, you can sell it, and then 8 hours it goes boom.
What the fuck?
This man always sells these broken objects. I hate him.
I trust him tomorrow, though.
Yeah, for sure. I'll buy another one. They're really cool. You can also touch one of your devices and dismantle it as an action. Just that's incredible speed.
That's really.
You're just like,
what the fuck?
Done. I guess that thing you could put a gun together and back. Literally, people know how to take apart guns and put them back together like that.
I guess, yeah.
So I guess it's the same thing. After the device is dismantled, the 10 pieces of gold used to create it can be reclaimed. So you can just create. You can literally create infinite money. They should really look at that.
They should look at that and
you can create infinite money.
That's not a good thing. Gnomes of many worlds.
It's so bad.
Gnomes past and present are known to equate secrecy with safety, which is why gnomes settlements are often tucked away or concealed by magical illusions. Forest gnomes. Gnomes have ancestral ties to the forest, who are called forest gnomes. They use their magic to befriend small forest animals and rely on them for news concerning their neighbors. Be they malevolent or benign.
So that's interesting that they are creating like this. Gnomes have like illusionary existences, basically.
They're
like,
making them more like gnomes than actual gnomes.
Gnomes? They're not gnomes, dude. They're gnomes. They're just
Gnomes.
It's the G silent.
Gnomes whose ancestors dwell under mountains are called rock gnomes. On some worlds, including Kryn, rock gnomes are also known as tinker gnomes, due to their fondness for artificer and clockwork inventions.
Which have a very long words.
Here we go! We're still in the midst of it.
Here we go.
Halfling, cherished and guided by gods who value life, home, and hearth, halflings gravitate towards bucolic havens where family and community help shape their lives. That said, many halflings are blessed with a brave and adventurous spirit that leads them on journeys of discovery, affording them the chance to explore a bigger world and make new friends along the way. Their size, being not unlike that of a human child, helps them avoid unwanted entanglements and slip into and out of tight spaces. Anyone who has spent time around halflings, and particularly halfling adventurers, has likely witnessed the storied luck of the halflings in action. When a halfling is in mortal danger, it seems as though an unseen force intervenes on the halfling's behalf. Many halflings believe in the power of luck, and they attribute their unusual gift to one or more of their benevolent gods, including Yondala, Brandabaris, and Charmeleon. Charmeleon. Halfling terror traits: 2 to 3 feet, speed 30 feet, 150 years on average. As a halfling, you gain these special traits: brave, you have advantage on saving throws against a frightened condition. Halfling nimbleness, you can move through space of any creature that is a size larger than you, but you can't stop there. Luck, the biggest thing. When you roll a 1 on the d20 of a d20 test, you can re-roll the dice and you must use that new role. Naturally stealthy, you have proficiency in stealth skill.
Why does it say test?
That's a good question. We'll find out soon, I guess.
Or you won't.
Or it's just a word that they decided to use. Halflings of many worlds. On many worlds, halflings are walking, talking contradictions.
Ooh,
Home,
I like that.
Tradition, and pastoral
Pursuit? Pastoral? Yeah.
pastoral pursuits collide with a god's given love for adventure and a knack of getting into and out of trouble. Halfling communities come in all varieties. For every sequestered halfling shire, tucked away in some unspoiled corner of the world, there are halfling crime syndicates.
What?
There's a halfling crime syndicate like the
What?
Boromore clan
sorry.
on the world of Eberron, or a territorial mob of halflings like those found on the world of Uthras. Some halfling settlers, particularly ones who prefer to live underground, are thought to have a little bit of dwarven blood coursing throughout their veins, and are sometimes called strong-hearted halflings, or stouts. Nomadic halflings, as well as those who live among humans and other tall folk, are sometimes called lightfoot halflings or tall fellows.
So, we have gangsta halflings.
We have hood halflings.
Apparently, this is a common thing.
Give
now.
me your money. Give me your money, son. Give me your money. Give me your money, son.
I know I may look 6 to 7 years old. Oh, yeah.
Get him.
Oh, my life is my extended
Tell
life.
his family they owe us now more money because we killed him.
My family's dead.
And so are you.
Yes.
You're in heaven.
Oh.
Welcome.
Wow.
It sucks here.
Yeah, no, that's Tybora got me. Tybora got me, bro.
Orcs. There's this one's mine. Orcs trace their creation to Groomish.
Yes, you love Groomish,
The one. I hate Groomish.
but he's the
orc
he
god.
created them.
Yeah, but he's
You
also
have
the
to love
worst.
him.
He's also the worst.
You can't love him.
I can make orcs and
You
not
have
like
to love him.
I can make orcs and
It's
not
impossible.
love Groomish. I can
controls
understand
them.
what Groomish is. An
Groomish
unstoppable
controls them.
warrior and powerful leader.
Mm-hmm.
Groomish armed his children with certain gifts to help them thrive on worlds beset by monsters.
Exactly.
Even when they turn their devotion to other gods, orcs retain the gifts that the one-eyed god bestowed upon them. Might, endurance, determination, and the ability to see in the dark.
I love how Groomish sees everyone else as monsters.
Besides orcs. I mean, yeah, he's very,
That's hilarious.
he's
Like,
very racist.
That's actually hilarious. Like you guys are so ugly.
Besides
Yeah, you're
us, we're
hideous.
beautiful.
Yeah, I find it hilarious.
That's great. It also makes sense. A lot of orc societies start to make sense when you see it from that perspective.
That's why they go around killing everyone because they're
We're
monsters.
We're the
apparently.
only beautiful ones around.
You guys are monsters. You're terrible things. We have to exterminate you all.
Orcs are on average tall and broad. They have gray skin. They are saying that right now
No,
that they
they're
have gray skin in their world. I'm a sucker for the greens, but that's perfectly fine.
We saw those movies, the very cringe ones. They are gray skin.
They are
like
gray.
Yeah.
They have gray skin, ears that are small and slightly pointed, and prominent lower canines that resemble small tusks. Young orcs are often told about their ancestors' ancient conflicts with elves and dwarves under mountains, and invaders from evil planes of existence. Oh,
Yes.
but it's evil
They're not
in
the
their
evil.
eyes.
Yeah, they're not
evil
the
in their eyes.
Exactly.
They're not
Exactly.
evil.
No, they're
Inspired
fucking-
by
they're
those
good.
tales, young orcs often wonder when Groomish will call on them to match their heroic deeds of their ancestors, and if they will prove worthy of the one-eyed god's grace.
That snaps, bro. See, Groomish made all this true, though.
That's what they believe. Orc traits. Humanoid, they are 6 to 7 feet tall, 30 feet, and live 80 years.
Yay.
They have the adrenaline rush, which I feel like is a very a good add-on that they put on recently. You take the dash action as a bonus action when you do, so you gain a number of temporary hit points equal to your proficiency bonus. You can use this trait a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, long rest, blah, blah, blah. Dark vision with sexy foot. They also have the powerful build where you can just carry things You count as one size larger when determining
Mm-hmm.
your carrying capacity.
Which makes sense.
They also have the relentless endurance into the base orc.
Yes.
Not just the half orc.
Yes.
The base orc.
Yes.
Not just the half
Yes.
orc. The base orc.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
It made no sense.
It should have. It doesn't even make sense that the half orcs can do that and not regular.
That's what I'm saying.
It never made sense.
When you are reduced to 0 hit points, but not killed outright, you can just drop to 1 HP instead and basically say, I'm not going down just yet. I didn't hear no bell. Orcs of many worlds.
Don't.
I did it on purpose. On many words, I ain't hear no bell. It's a meme in our world,
Yes,
though.
it is.
On many worlds, orcs occupy territories. Territory claimed by... I mean, that's literally the embodiment of I don't hear no bell.
That's...
Claimed by their ancestors, their settlements and strongholds can be found almost anywhere above ground and below. Orcs sometimes flock to the banners of powerful monarchs, King Abold, many arrows of Toril. The world of the Forgotten Realm setting is one such which his strength tempered by a willingness to make peace with his enemies.
What?
Yeah, I guess.
Is a peaceful orc?
I mean, they're just showing that they're not all assholes, I guess.
No, they are.
On worlds
Everyone's
such
evil.
as Eberron, orcs were among those who defended the natural order from the encroachments of fiends and other extraplanar threats.
I like Eberron now.
Yeah, Eberron.
Really,
I mean,
really,
the world, the lore that we're getting is great. Their descendants learn to live in harmony with their neighbors and the natural world, and to many of them, Groomish's wars are a distant memory. They're just showing that you can do whatever you want.
Orcs can be gentle too.
Yeah.
An orc and an elf had a baby.
Here we go. Tieflings are either born in the lower planes or have one or more fiendish ancestor who originated there. A tiefling is linked by blood to a devil, a demon, a Yogoloth, or some other fiend.
Or some other thing.
This
Some
connection to
other
the lower
fiend.
planes is, for better or worse, the tiefling's fiendish legacy, which comes with the promise of power, yet has no effect on the tiefling's moral outlook. A tiefling chooses whether to embrace or lament their fiendish legacy. The 3 legacies are as follows: abyssal, the heart entropy of the abyss, the howling chaos of pandemonium, and the vast despair of Carceria, calling to tieflings who have the abyssal fiendish legacy. Horns, furs, tusks, black blood, and peculiar odors are common physical features of such tieflings, most of whom have the blood of demons coursing through
So
their
they're
veins.
That's a way different look. That's a way different look from what we're used to see. Okay.
Well, basically, they're saying that they can have fur. They're giving examples of things that they can have.
Well, tusks as well. Black blood.
They're basically
They're diversifying it.
They're basically saying make whatever you want, which I like.
Yeah.
Tieflings who here we go, chthonic. Tieflings who have the chthonic fiendish legacy not only feel the tug of Carceri, but also the greed of Gehenna, and the underworld gloom of Hades. Some of those tieflings look cadaverous. Cadaverous, thank you. Others possess the unearthly beauty of an incubus or a succubus, or they have physical features in common with a night hag, a Yugoloth, or some neutral evil fiendish ancestors.
Yo, so that means your variants, your looks are this isn't even the tiefling you know today.
Well, the Infernal is going to be the tiefling we know today because they're basically based off, the tieflings we know today are based off the devils.
Exactly.
They're expanding it here because adding the chthonic means that you find a demon and the players are in one of the monster manuals and you base the tiefling off of that, or you can do whatever you want, create whatever the hell is going on in your brain, I guess. The Infernal Legacy binds tiefling by blood not only to Gehenna but also the raging battlefields of Archeon. And the diabolical 9 hells, horns, spines, tails, golden eyes, the familiar looks that we have of tieflings and more.
Faint odor of sulfur or smoke.
You can do whatever you want.
That's just they're change.
I love it.
Not even the infernal ones are the same.
No, I don't think they should be either.
No,
I think the evolution of tiefling is already going to be crazy because
I don't
if I don't remember tiefling being in the player's handbook and the player's handbook in 5th edition, right? I don't think it's there. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong.
I think it is.
Okay, it could be. I thought it was an add-on, but I could be wrong. Tiefling traits: humanoid, 4/7, small, medium. Chosen when you select this race. This is what I think they're doing with tieflings that they have not done in the past. They saw the fact that tieflings just got a fucking like a fucking they're like a crazy evolution, and people just wanted to play tieflings mostly because of Critical Role. Let's be honest.
Yeah, of course.
But beyond that, ever since then, everyone's just been wanting to play tieflings, and it's become such a popular race that people have decided to do whatever the hell they want with it, and it's so popular that it's just like we're gonna now expand upon this because it's a popular thing.
I'm really liking the fact that they're looking so different. Like I can't even picture the regular tiefling anymore at this point.
I can, but that's because I look at tieflings as being whatever the hell they are. I have a wide variety of like imagining each tiefling being different. I love that they're adding a whole bunch of different things already. But it's not just color that changes. It's anything. You can make whatever you want. Just remember, it's still in your control, whatever you're doing. It's the beauty of Dungeons and Dragons and the evolution that we're going forward with D&D, which I love. I like that they're now starting to take those lockdown features away and just allow you to do whatever the hell you want. It's where it should be going. Fiendish Legacy. You are the recipient of a Fiendish Legacy that grants you supernatural abilities. Choose a legacy from the Fiendish Legacy's table. Abyssal, associated with chaotic evil planes. Chthonic, neutral evil. And infernal, lawful evil. You gain the first level benefits. It's the same as the previous races. When you reach that level, you get access to that spell regardless of what class you're playing. So let's look. Oh, do they have it somewhere? Okay, it's right here. We'll just look at this first since we just mentioned it. Abyssal gets resistant to poison damage and can also know the poison spray cantrip.
Okay.
Ray of Sickness and Hold Person is now in one of them kits.
We're not just sticking with resistance to fire damage. We're once again diversifying the fact that you are a different lineage.
Yeah, I love it.
I
love that. You have resistance to necrotic damage and also know the Chill Touch cantrip with Chthonic, False Life, and Ray of Enfeeblement. And Infernal, you have resistance to fire, know the Firebolt cantrip, know the Hell's Rebuke, and Darkness. Good stuff.
Darkness.
I'm impressed by they've added Hold Person to anything skit, because that is a very strong thing.
Pretty strong, and you get a 5th level for free.
Mm-hmm. Otherworldly Presence, you know the Thaumaturgy cantrip, and when you cast it, you can use the same spell casting ability with whatever you're using to cast spells in general.
That's what I'm saying.
Tieflings born in the lower planes often migrate. This is long. I mean, we expected it to be long anyway, but like this is what we're doing. We wanted to talk, review it, and look at it, and then kind of give our opinions at the end. That's what we're doing. Their descendants are scattered across many worlds and are especially prevalent in Sigil. That word's coming up again, buddy. A torus-shaped city at the center of the multiverse.
Yes, sir.
The earliest tieflings joined ranks with non-tieflings to repel fiendish incursions on many worlds, earning the trust of those who might otherwise have mistaken them for fiends. Basically saying, guys, we're here to help. Please let us help. We're not like our fathers, and we're not like the evil creatures that made us.
Are you a Yugoloth? You look like one.
The earliest
See, he killed me. He's a Yugoloth. Kill him.
Okay, I just read that. Thanks to the victories and sacrifices of those legends, tieflings throughout the multiverse enjoy widespread acceptance. As they should. What a great character. I love tieflings. They're great.
There you go.
And now we're done with the races. We're getting into what they want to do with backgrounds. When you choose a background, you have 3 options. Build a background by using the rules in the Build Your Background section. Select a pre-made background from the sample backgrounds. Select a pre-made background from the sample background sections, and then customize it with the rules and Build Your Background section.
There are 11 more pages.
We
10
have
more pages.
Yeah, we got some.
Yeah.
We're getting to some nitty gritty stuff. How does your background influence your current world view? Do you embrace or reject your background? Did you form any relationships during your background that endure today? Build your background. Here we go. This is supposed to be really big to character creation in the new ones. Using the rules here, you can build a background from scratch or customize a pre-made background, focusing on details related to the backstory you have in mind for your character. That coffee made you tired. When you build a background, your characters gain the features in the background features section. As you make choices for the feature, think about your character's past. Where did they spend most of their times? What did they do for a living? What capabilities and possessions did they acquire? What languages did they learn from their family, associates, or studies? How did their past affect their ability scores? If you instead decide to customize a pre-made background, you can choose any features in that background and replace them with the features below of the same name. For example, if you want to change a background's language feature, you can replace that feature with the language feature below. Here we go. When you determine your character's ability score, choose 2 of them and increase one by 2 and the other by 1. That's it.
Yes.
That's it.
Tasha.
Here we are, people. Here we are. We finally gotten to the point where they're just like, can you just do whatever the hell you want? We're tired of doing this overthinking things. We're going to focus on the stories and building our world and building adventures for you. Just do what you want.
Tasha's.
Remember, guys, it's a game where you can do what you want, and we're not held by the standards of, I am an orc, I must kill. I am a tiefling, I am evil.
And not
I
everyone,
am a gnome, and I must just go around creating things and
not
hating
everyone
on
has to choose a tabaxi just to get that +2 to Dex now. That's all everyone ever used to choose
you
tabaxi for.
create whatever you want.
They wanted that +2 to Dex, and like, oh man, I gotta go tabaxi.
Metagaming is always going to be a thing, and people like that. There's nothing wrong with that at its core, but it can be a problem if done in the wrong way. So just remember, at the end of the day, regardless if you're choosing the metagame, not metagame, I'm sorry, I'm using the wrong terminology. If you're choosing to what's the
Min-max?
Mid-max. Completely different terms, I apologize. Mid-max. If you're choosing the mid-max, remember that you still could do whatever the hell you want. It is your character. Just remember there's consequences to everything. That's it. With these, you get 2 skill proficiencies. You get a tool proficiency, and you get to just choose languages. You get to choose a language, and you get to just choose whatever you want because that's how it should be.
Your first level feat. Your character gains that feat.
Your character also gains 50 gold to spend on starting equipment.
So you can literally just buy whatever the hell you want. And you don't just
You just get to do whatever the hell you want. You do whatever the hell you
get
want.
50 gold pieces. Buy whatever. Here's a shopping spree. Buy whatever you want.
And they're mentioning it right here in this little thing about why they're choosing to do what they're doing, which I'm on board with.
Which would make sense. Tasha's and Monsters Multiverse. It makes sense that they got their inspiration from that. That was the building blocks.
Yeah, it's their best stuff so far. Here's some examples. As mentioned before, we have Acolyte, which will also have their ability scores attached to them. You're good, buddy. Wake up.
Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do.
I'll slap myself.
Don't tell me what to do.
I just did.
Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do.
So yeah, here we go. They literally attach the same thing, giving you examples of what you can do. And I think it's great because it also inspires you to actually create that backstory as you go. Instead of it just being like, I'm an acolyte because I chose that background.
Yeah, I just wanted these proficiencies and that's it. I just wanted to increase my proficiencies.
They're encouraging you to go, why? Artisan, and it gives you the examples of artisan and an example of background. Charlatan.
Yep.
Criminal.
Criminal.
One that's interesting to me that they've added is cultist. That's a background, an example of a background.
Oh
here.
my god, I'm a fucking cultist.
It's great.
They're encouraging people to go cultist.
I think that's wonderful.
I think it is too.
Entertainer. Guard. Farmer.
Farmer.
Yes. That
Farmer.
100%. I'm on board with that one. I'm just a farmer, but also I'm capable of a lot more than that. They attach halfling to it. That's funny.
Exactly.
It's the best. Gladiator.
Let's go.
Guide.
I'm a farmer.
Noble.
I might
Hermit.
be a farmer, but I'll kick
Pilgrim. Pilgrim.
Hey, yo!
Once again, they attach
Traveler.
halfling to it. Amazing. Laborer. Like, we can get into the examples of this, but we actually don't need to because they tell you exactly what you're doing here. And I honestly think that these are just examples at this point. They're no longer...
Healer's kit with a background, because you can afford it now, because you get 50 fucking gold pieces.
Right away. Sage. Urchin. Sailor. And soldier. And these are the examples.
These are just examples. I mean, you could literally create what.
Yeah, these are the examples now.
You want.
This isn't just okay. Choose a background. It is okay. Do whatever you want. These are now just examples for you.
So that means there's a possibility of starting off with a higher AC because you can choose better equipment.
Do what you want. Do what the hell you want.
With 50 gold pieces at least.
You can make it happen. Starting languages. Your character and just like that, we've gotten through pages. Starting languages. Your characters begins play knowing. Holy shit. The way the sentence is worded. Your character begins play knowing at least three languages.
They didn't proofread that. That's all that is.
I understand what the sentence is intending, but good lord, that's a hard one to reason. Common, a language provided by the character's background, and a language that you choose from the standard languages table. Knowledge of a language means your character can communicate that. And the standard languages table list, blah, blah, blah. These are the standard from what we have right here. Common sign language.
Okay.
That's gnarly cool.
And typical users, anyone. So that means it's probably more common for people to know sign language back then
than it is a lot of other things.
Or, not back then, but in this world.
In this world, sign language is a big thing now.
Okay.
Chris is going to be real happy about that.
Literally.
Dwarvish, Elvish, Giant, Gnomish, Goblin, Halfling, and Orc. The rare languages, once again, are Abyssal, Celestial, Deep Speech, Draconic, Druidic, Infernal,
Primordial. It encompasses those. Oh, thank you. Oh, my God.
It's no longer just these.
Yes, the Orin knows Orin. Aquian knows Aquian. Terran knows Terran.
It's just Primordial.
Oh, my God. That just makes so much more sense than it always did.
Sylvian, Thieves' Cant, and then Undercommon. And here we go. Now that they've gone over the base concept of what a language is. Feats. This section offers a collection of first level feats, which are special features not tied to a single class. At first level, your character gains a feat from this character's background. This is different. These are parts of a feat, I guess. Oh, that's describing it. No, not parts of the feat. These are first level feats, which means these are specific things that you get at first level. They now attach these to first level that you can choose, which is different than just having a feat. Interesting. Here we go. Here we go. Prerequisite. You must meet any prerequisite specified in a feat to take that feat. If you choose a feat's prerequisite, you can't use that feat until you regain the prerequisite. If a feat is repeatable, you can take it more than once. Repeatable feats.
I guess they build on each other. They
If
stack.
it isn't repeatable, you can take it only once. Let's
So
learn.
They stack. Okay.
Alert. We've seen this before, but what's different now? It is now a first level feat. There is no prerequisite, and it cannot be repeatable. Always on the lookout for danger, you gain the following benefits. Initiative proficiency. When you roll initiative, you can add your proficiency bonus to the roll.
Oh! This gives bards even more incentive, apparently, to be alert.
Initiative swap. Immediately after you roll initiative, you can swap your initiative with the initiative of one willing ally.
I literally
in
put
combat.
that on my fucking Candlekeeper.
That's a
I
really
thought it
good
was an
one.
interesting thing. Okay.
You can't make this swap if you or the ally is incapacitated.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that should just go
Okay,
with that.
so initiative proficiency. Okay, so proficiency, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means you can go Herringon plus Bard, and you literally will always basically be first.
You could be, yeah.
Because if you go Bard, you're already adding half. If you go Herringon, you're already rolling and adding. I think you just buy your proficiency as well, I think, if I'm not mistaken. You add something else. You add something else to your proficiency as Herringon. And then with Hair Trigger. And then you, once again, you stack this on top of it. Holy shit.
You're over here metagaming.
Yeah, people are going to do that all the time, so why not?
Stop metagaming. I'm just kidding. Not metagaming. I don't fucking know.
Min-maxing.
Min-maxing. There you go.
Yeah, why
I
not?
love it. It's cool.
Yeah, fucking why not?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, fucking why not? That's what I'm going for.
Crafter.
Oh my god, thank you.
Prerequisite. None. It cannot be repeated. You are adept at crafting things and bargaining with merchants, granting you the following benefits. You gain a tool proficiency with 3 different artisan tools of your choice.
I love that.
Discount. Whenever you buy a non-magical item, you receive a 20% discount on it.
I'm sorry, that's a passive?
That's a passive.
You just every time.
That's what it says.
Holy shit.
When you craft an item using a tool with which you have tool proficiency, the required crafting time is reduced by 20%. Okay, cool.
20% off at all times.
The healer feat. This is the updated one. You have the training and intuition to administer first aid and other care effectively,
Oh god.
granting you the
Yes.
following benefits.
Yes.
Battle Medic. If you have a healer's kit, you can expend 1 use of it and tend to a creature within 5 feet of you as an action. That creature can expend 1 of its hit dice and then roll that dice. The creature regains a number of hit points equal to the roll plus your proficiency bonus.
Okay.
Whenever you roll a dice using healing rerolls, you can determine the number of hit points you restore with a spell or with its feat's Battle Medic benefit. You can re-roll the die if it rolls a 1, and you must use the new roll. Okay, a little complicated, but, I think it's okay. It's not as great as the other ones, and I kind of think the old one was a bit better.
Yeah.
But, that's not for me to judge right now. I could see it using, but, it sucks that they've changed that to that. Lucky. It cannot be repeatable, and there's no prerequisite, which means you have an unexplicable luck that can kick in at just the right moment, granting you the following benefits. You have a number of luck points equal to your proficiency bonus. You can spend the points on the benefits below, and you regain your expended luck points when you finish a long rest.
Yep.
Immediately after you roll a D20 test, that's what they're calling it, I guess, you can spend 1 luck point to give yourself advantage on the roll. That's what it says.
Wait, hold on. Immediately after you
Yeah.
roll a d20.
You can spend it and then just be like, oh, I don't like that. Let me roll again.
So that
it's
means
saying-
you roll 3 times.
Nope. It says immediately after you roll a d20 on a d20 test, you can spend the 1 luck point to give yourself advantage on the roll. So basically saying, reroll.
I don't think that's what that's saying. Because that wouldn't make any sense.
I guess it's saying that like
Because it's not if you're giving yourself advantage, that means you're rolling twice. That's what advantage is.
yeah,
If
but the thing
if it
is
said you can just re-roll, it would say that. 'Cause
it's
that's how
saying
they
that
word it.
though.
No, it says advantage.
You can spend 1 luck point to give yourself advantage on the roll. But the thing is, it's saying after you roll a d20. It's saying after
exactly.
you. So you've already made the roll.
I feel like that means you roll it 3 times. Because if every
I
time,
don't know.
Every time they say that you must re-roll and use the new re-roll dice, they've always said that. They've always worded it.
Well,
like
they need to reword that to that because that one's a little that can be interpreted different ways.
because I just see that as you're rolling 3 times.
I understand, but I see it as like you're giving yourself advantage to kind of re-roll again. I could be completely wrong, and you could be completely wrong.
Exactly.
It's not the best wording choice here. They didn't go. It's hard to tell. When a creature rolls a d20, it's the same thing here with disadvantage.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. Like, that just sounds, once again, like they're saying
That you can roll. I don't.
That you
It
just-
can.
you're rolling
It does
3
sound
times.
like that, but then again, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
It's
know.
really hard to tell.
It just sounds like you're rolling 3 times. That's what I would see. Like, if I'm
No, it's
playtesting
perfectly.
it,
It's perfectly fine.
like if
I
we
don't
sit
mind
here
that.
and one day and we're just like, we're playtesting this, that's what I would rule.
I mean, I guess it's interpretation.
I don't know. I don't know if they're trying to just leave it up. I doubt they would do that. But
That's the thing. But the thing is, they didn't label it enough. Like they didn't. That's an iffy one. I like it. I would prefer it if you just get to roll 3 times. That'd be great. But I don't know. I can see where your brain goes that way,
sure.
and I can see where my brain goes that way. Magic Initiative is a repeatable one, which I can see why it is because
it's always has been.
it has not.
Yeah, you could take a magic
It has
as
not.
many
I'm
times
just
as you want to.
kidding.
Yeah, you can take it as many times as you want to.
I don't think so.
Yeah, there's multiple classes that spell. cast
Oh,
spells.
you're right. You're
Yeah.
right. You have learned the basics of particular magical tradition. Choose one spell list: Arcane, Divine, or Primal. You gain the following benefits related to that choice. You learn 2 cantrips of your choice from the spell list. You choose 1 level spell from the spell list. You always have that spell prepared. You can cast it once without a spell slot, and you regain the ability to cast it in that way when you finish a long rest. You can also cast the spell using any spell slots you have. Intelligence, Wisdom, or Charisma is your spellcasting choice. You can choose out of any of those. Whenever you gain a new level, you can replace one of
So
the
they
spells.
didn't say wizard spell list, sorcerer spell list,
No, they didn't.
or bards, or
They said Primal, Arcane, or Divine.
Divine.
I guess they're trying to label them differently here.
Yeah.
Consult the player's handbook, blah, blah, blah. Basically, you can choose a different one every time you gain a level.
Ah, yes.
Musician.
Yay!
You gain tool proficiency with 3 musical instruments
Damn.
of your choice. You also,
Fresh.
as you finish a long rest or a short rest, you can play a song on a musical instrument with which you have a tool proficiency and give inspirations to allies to hear the song. The number of allies you can affect in this way equals your proficiency.
You just
bonus.
give away proficiency?
I guess so.
Okay. I mean, if you're a human, and then you give 3 inspiration? Okay.
Savage attacker. You have trained to deal particularly damaging strikes. When you take the attack action and hit a target with a weapon as a part of that action, you can roll the weapon's damage twice and use either roll against the target. You can use this benefit only once per turn.
Same thing, basically.
Yep. Skilled. It was repeatable. It should be.
Oh, yes.
You have exceptional broad learning. Choose 3 skills in which you lack proficiency and then gain proficiency. It's one of my favorite because it's like
Oh, that actually makes it pretty...
broken.
Yes, 3. If you do it first level...
Repeatable makes it broken.
Yeah, no, first level will make that broken.
Well, the thing is, you don't have to be barred. Actually, you probably want to be bard. You can take bard and continually going skilled, and then eventually you'll have such insane bonuses to everything.
Yeah, you'll be proficient with everything. You can literally be proficient
With it being
everything.
repeatable,
And
you
3.
can do whatever the hell you want.
That's 3.
Each time you're able to do it. That's awesome. That is awesome.
So are they taking away class proficiency, though? Is the thing.
They could.
Because if they're taking away class proficiency, that would technically kind of balance out a feat like that.
They could, but also I can see them not doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
I see so much potential in that. I think it's dope. Especially for bards. Depending on what they're doing different class-wise. Because this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
Tavern Brawler. First level. Not repeatable. Makes sense. It's just an enhanced unarmed strike. It's the same thing as before. Bludgeoning damage equal to 1d4 plus your strength modifier instead of doing a normal unarmed strike. Damage rerolls, you can reroll a 1 and you must use a new reroll. You can now shove, which you can deal damage to the target and also push it 5 feet away. So when you punch, you just... Oh!
They're finally making the monks a little bit more interesting now. Because once again, since you could take that first level, now you can go into that martial arts style monk build. Damn it.
Kind
There
of
we
immediate.
go.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Furniture as weapons. You can wield furniture as a weapon using the rules of the Great Club for small, medium furniture, and the rules of a club of tiny furniture.
Thank you. Now it's just not, it's just improvised weapon.
That's
it
great.
now becomes an actual fucking weapon.
Mm-hmm.
That's so much better and makes so much more sense.
You can get tough at first level. Your hit point maximum increases by an amount equal to twice your character level.
What?
That's what it just said. When you gain this feat. Whenever you gain a level, therefore, after your maximum increases by 2. So add that to Dwarf. You're getting 3 HP every level.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. But that means the later you take tough,
The more dumb it gets.
the more it scales, yeah.
Which is great.
Wait, has it always been like that?
Yeah.
Twice the maximum? Twice your character level?
I think so. I don't remember the
Me
ruling
neither.
on that.
I don't remember that.
No, at least not right off the hand.
Right off
I'll
the gate,
remember it
no,
at the
yeah.
worst part of this video. Rules glossary. This glossary includes game terms that have new or revised rules, meaning in these playtest rules as well as terms such as creature type that aren't defined in the 2014 Player's Handbook. The terms are organized alphabetically. If a term doesn't apply here, use its definition in the 2014 Player's Handbook. Arcane spells. An arcane spell draws the ambient magic of the multiverse. Bards, sorcerers, warlocks, and wizards harness this magic, as do artificers.
So they're just a list. It's just encompassed under the arcane
There's
spells.
no longer
Bard list.
Bard.
Sorcerer
Holy
list.
shit, this is
Warlock list.
fucking
That-
awesome. This is awesome.
Yeah, that makes
Finally,
so
no
much
more feeling
easier.
like bards are useless.
Oh, that makes it so much easier too to not just like, okay, what's on my bard spell list? What? Yeah, that happens sometimes.
That's okay. It'll just start playing.
That's what I'm saying. That happens sometimes. So now it's no longer, wow, I have to look for the bard spell list and see which spells I know under there. Now it's just arcane. I can just go under the arcane spell list and I'll just know what's there.
Yeah,
And I don't have to think.
it's great. That's absolutely fantastic.
Yes, that's so much better.
Artisan tools are a category of which a character can gain a tool proficiency. That's always been that case. Nothing's changed there. A creature type. The creature types are basically the same things from before. Yeah. Aberration, beast, celestial construct, dragon, elemental, fey, undead, plant, ooze, monstrosity, humanoid, giant, and fiend.
So they're not adding anything right now, at least.
These types don't have any rules themselves, but some rules in the game affect creatures of certain types in different ways. Cure wounds and construct are like the big things there. D20 test is now basically what they're calling it.
Okay.
I think just rolling a D20 is what they're calling a D20 test. The term D20 test encompasses the 3 main D20 rules of the game: ability checks, attack rolls, and saving throws. If something in the game affects D20 test, it affects all 3 of these rules. The DM determines whether a D20 test is warranted in any given circumstance. To be warranted in any given circumstance, to be warranted a D20 test must have a target number no less than 5 or no greater than 30. So they're saying these are the parameters. So I guess the number has to be a 5 or a 30 as far as like the what you're trying to hit.
Yeah, so if there's no point in that, makes it so much more different.
It actually
That
does.
actually makes that so much more different. That's now saying you don't even have to roll to hit if it's already gonna hit. If the DM already knows it's gonna hit without you rolling.
Yeah.
So that means there's actually a way to avoid natural ones.
Yeah, potentially.
That's
Unless they're just like, hey, you have to roll.
Yeah, exactly. You can still just, clearly throw out that ruling whatsoever.
But
and just,
using that ruling, you can just be like, yeah, you hit.
Yeah,
I like that.
that's interesting.
Rolling a 1. Here are these new updated rules that they're planning on to potentially, these are all playtests, potentially using for the new Dungeons and Dragons in 2024. Ruling a 1. If you roll a 1 on the D20, the D20 test automatically fails regardless of any modifiers to the roll. Nothing's changed there. Rolling a 20.
Actually, that does. Now that actually encompasses skill checks and saving throws.
Wait.
Yeah,
If you roll a 1 on the D20, the D20 test automatically
because remember,
fails
D20
regardless
test
of
now
any-
encompasses all 3 rolls.
of any modifiers to the roll. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that now saving throws can fail.
Haha.
Skill checks can fail.
Ha-ha.
Critically.
That sucks. Haha. But that also means D20s apply to everything. Rolling a 20 on the D20, the 20 test automatically succeeds regardless of any modifiers to the roll. That if a D20 test is everything, then it's
Yeah.
encompassing everything.
That means saving throws as well. So that means even if you have negatives like you normally would, still rolling a natural 20 automatically means that normally when you would not save that saving throw, you still save.
Yeah. I like it. I think
Yeah.
I think that's how it should have been to begin with, but that's fine.
Because it always feels bad when you're like, it's impossible for me to even do it, so I'm not even going to roll anymore as a character.
Yeah.
Because I know I can't.
It's never fun. A player character also gains inspiration when rolling into the 20, thanks to the remarkable success. So if you roll a 20,
You get inspiration.
you'll get inspiration. Okay, cool. Rolling a 20 doesn't bypass limitations on the test, such as range and line of sight. The 20 bypasses only bonuses and penalties to the roll.
So what they're trying to say is that it's not going to break everything. Please do not try to break the fucking game. You can't say I'm going to hit someone through the wall.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's saying. It's like you can't fucking hit people through the wall. Shut up. Like, be quiet with that. Like, stop. You can't do that.
When I roll a 20, you still can't see them.
You know that you can't do that.
Weapons and unarmed strikes have a special feature for player characters. Critical hits. If a player character rolls a 20 for an attack roll with a weapon or an unarmed strike, the attack is also a critical hit, which means it deals extra damage to the target. You roll the damage dice of the weapon or unarmed strike a second time and add the second roll as extra damage to the target. Okay?
So that means spells don't crit.
Yeah. Which they're saying weapon or
And
unarmed strikes.
Yeah, they didn't encompass spells in that.
Yeah, they kind of didn't at this moment. But the thing is like,
Yeah, that means spells don't crit.
okay, whatever.
Spells don't crit.
For example, a mace deals bludgeoning damage equal to 1d6 plus your strength modifier. If you use a critical hit with a mace, it instead deals 2d6 plus your spell modifier. If your weapon or unarmed strike has no damage dice, it deals no extra damage on a critical hit.
That also is telling me too that if your weapon does extra damage, it won't count towards a crit anymore. And that means rogues no longer crit with their stuff then?
Yes.
Rogues no longer crit with their sneak attack then. I'm reading.
Well, it's a weapon attack, though.
Well, it's not a part of the weapon damage.
Oh, jeez. They're gonna have to work on that, man.
Because it's not a part of the weapon
There's no
damage.
clarifications there. At least not enough for us to warrant what the hell that's supposed to mean. They're going to have to work on that one. Divine spells. A divine spell draws on the power of gods in the outer planes. Clerics and paladins harness the same stuff.
We don't have to think about it.
Thank goodness.
We don't have to think about it.
That's a big change that I love.
Yeah.
The gaming sets are the same things
Yep,
they've had before. Grappling condition. While you are grappled, you experience the following effects. Speed 0. And you also have disadvantage, which is something that I've always wondered.
Yep.
Because that happened yesterday. I was grappled and I'm just like, I could still just go.
It just makes sense that they would have disadvantage. That's what I've always been saying. I'm just like, it just makes sense. If you're grappled, you'd have disadvantage. Like, it just makes sense.
I was thinking that too. I was just like, but technically I'm grappled, so
Why would you be able to have advantage? That says that you can still have advantage.
Yeah, if somebody's behind you.
Exactly. I still have advantage.
I see my friend.
Stab. That just takes so much sense. Damn it.
I love stupid things though. I don't mind it.
Same.
The grappler can drag or carry you. But the grappler suffers the slowed condition while moving. I like that.
Slowed condition? Wait,
I
that's
like
a new
that.
condition.
Yeah,
Slowed.
I think so. Instead of just using slow, I think it's now just a condition.
Okay.
Unless you are tiny or two or more sizes smaller than the grappler.
So tiny can't grapple anything,
Well, we know that already.
even if they're tiny.
No. While moving, they're saying the grappler can drag or carry you, but the grappler suffers a
if
slow
you're
condition
tiny.
unless you're tiny. So if you are tiny, and it can just use its normal speed, or two sizes smaller. So if you are medium and we're fighting,
You're not affected by the slowed condition.
Here's the dragon.
Yeah.
Okay, it grapples you. It's not slowed because it's massive.
Because you're tiny. Okay, so that's actually that
makes sense. That's great. I like that.
So it's no longer your speed is reduced to 0. It's now a slowed condition.
I think so. We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll see what the slowed condition is afterwards.
Well, no. The grappler is when you're grappled, it's 0. But the thing is, we don't.
Oh, okay.
We don't know what the slow condition is still. While grappled, you can make a dexterity or strength save against the grapples.
At the end of your turn, instead of using your entire fucking action, which is just... It just makes it feel so redundant that I have to use my action to get out of a fucking grapple.
Yeah. The condition also ends if the grappler is incapacitated or if something moves at you outside the grappler's range.
So you can
using
shove.
your speed.
Shoving now means something. Holy shit, you can shove people, and it means something.
Kind of.
Because if you're shoving someone 10 feet away from them, they're ungrappled. You can actually help your friend, aside from just watching him. Are you okay? Are you okay? I know you are grappled. Are you okay? I can't do anything. I watch.
Incapacitated. You can't take actions or reactions. Makes sense. Your concentration is broken. You can't speak. If you are incapacitated when you roll initiative, you have disadvantage on the roll. I mean, that all just
I guess that was never a thing.
I guess.
Huh.
Inspiration. When you have inspiration, you can expend it to give yourself advantage on a D20 test. You must decide to do so before rolling the dice. Gaining inspiration, the main way to do that is... inspiration is rolling a D20 for a D20 test. The main way a character gains inspiration is by rolling the natural 20.
Mm-hmm.
The DM can also award inspiration. So basically they're just saying...
You can do... It's
do
both. It is both.
Only one at a time. You can never have more than one instance of inspiration. If something gives you inspiration, you already have it. You can give inspiration to a player in your group who lacks it.
You can just toss it around then, huh?
That's great.
Yeah.
Losing inspiration. If you still have inspiration when you start a long rest, you lose that inspiration.
So they're encouraging people to
use it.
Your fucking inspiration, please.
I gave it to you. Just use it.
You rolled a natural 20. Oh my god, you already have inspiration. Pass it along.
What's the point of me giving you this shit?
Pass it along, please. There we go. Okay, that's beautiful.
A long rest is a period of extended downtime, at least 8 hours, during which a creature sleeps for at least 6 hours and performs no more than 2 hours of light activity, such as reading, talking, eating, or standing. They're labeling everything, making sure it's clear. You need at least 6 of those hours of that long rest need to be sleeping.
Yep. Please.
Benefits of the rest. At the end of the long rest, the creature regains all lost hit points. The creature also regains spent hit dice, up to half of the creature's total number of them. Round down, blah, blah, blah. A creature can't benefit from more than one long rest in a 24-hour period. And the creature must have at least one hit point at the start of the rest to gain its benefits.
Oh, that is a hamperer.
A creature can't benefit from more than one long rest in a 24-hour period. And a creature must have at least one hit point.
You have to be up. That means if you're unconscious and everyone just let you just die, you're still at 0 hit points and stable, and they just left you there.
I'm not sleeping.
You're not sleeping. You're not. Your brain isn't functioning.
Technically. Interrupting the rest of a long rest is interrupted by a combat or by 1 hour of walking, casting spells, or similar activity. The rest confers no benefit and must be restarted. However, if the rest was at least 1 hour long before the interruption, the creature regains the benefit of a short rest.
Okay.
So it's 1 hour.
1 hour before interrupted sleep. That means we can just interrupt you an hour and you gain the long rest, which means you get that fucking heal. Which means that it feels better to actually throw encounters at you guys while you're sleeping.
Because you'll be fine anyway.
Exactly. Because that always making it feel redundant to consistently attack everyone.
Yeah, I mean, I never want to do it because
exactly.
I'm just like, you guys are in the middle of dungeon taking a long rest, and I'm like,
you don't gain anything. You don't gain your short
if I do what a dungeon is supposed to do right now and interrupt you guys at some point,
it's gonna feel shitty.
It's gonna feel shitty because then you have to do it again for a longer amount of time.
It's like, hey, at least you get your long rest. You knew that you slept inside of a dungeon. You didn't barricade all the doors. So because of that, now you guys are paying the consequences. Next time, hey, barricade that door. I don't give a fuck, barricade that door.
Literally. But beyond that, we can actually do what a dungeon's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Musical instruments are the same as before. Nothing changed. It's just giving the labels of what a musical instrument is. Primal spells. Oh my goodness, druids and rangers share the same spells.
Because we know that they are basically the same. They are kin. They are kin.
That's a big thing for me. That's huge for me.
I think we're gonna like this.
I think this edition is going to be fantastic.
And we're probably going to change that whole D20 test thing. That just seems weird. I would change it personally. D20 test is just, it's just a little iffy.
There's a lot there that I'm just like, I'm not exactly sure yet.
Exactly.
Slow condition. Here we go. Limited movements. You must expend 1 extra foot of movement for every foot you move using your speed. Attacks affected. Attack rolls against you have advantage, which makes sense because you are not moving that fast.
Oh my god, again, what I was always saying. If you're grappled, attack rolls against you have advantage, and you have disadvantage. It just made sense.
You have disadvantage on dexterity saving throws as well.
It just made sense.
Yep. Tool proficiency. If you have it's the same thing as before with the tools.
Tool proficiency.
It's the same thing, but we'll read it because there are some things to it. You can add your proficiency bonus to any ability check you can use to use that tool. If you have proficiency in the skill that's also used with that check, you can have advantage on the check too.
What?
This functionality means you can benefit from both skill proficiency and tool proficiency on the same check. I love it. I think that's great.
Advantage. I love that so much.
That's great.
Because it always made you feel so bad when you roll something that you're proficient in and somehow you still do shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole door meme.
Yeah.
I mean, that's in every group. It doesn't matter what it is.
Exactly.
The door meme is just like, okay, I'm good with lock picking. I'm good with my proficiency checks. I've done all this stuff as a rogue to be good as a rogue, and I can't open this door. I can't open this door. I can't open this door. I can't open this door.
They also said skill proficient. That means you get advantage on those as well.
Yeah. If you're using that tool. Yeah. So if you're combining your tool and your skill, then you're getting advantage.
Oh my god.
That's what I'm saying. Like you use the sleight of hand you use your sleight of hand and you use your lockpick, and then you got an advantage on that and on that roll, and it doesn't feel like you're just spending 3 hours trying to open a fucking door.
It's so much better.
It's way better.
It's so much better.
It makes sense.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay.
Tremor sense. A creature with tremor sense can pinpoint the location of a creature and moving objects within a specific range, provided that the creature with tremor sense and anything it's detecting are both in contact with the same surface or the same liquid. Tremor sense can detect creatures or objects can't detect things that are in the air and doesn't count as a form of sight.
So tremor sense passes on to water.
Yeah, whatever surface that you are
So that
currently
means if you're
on.
in water, tremor sense would work in water then.
Yeah,
Because you can feel the vibrations and the flow of the water as it hits you. Okay.
That's cool. I like that. Extending it to any surface that you're currently standing on is a good thing.
Yeah.
An unarmed strike is a melee attack that involves you using your body to damage, grapple, or shove a target within your reach. Your bonus to hit with an unarmed strike equals your strength modifier plus your proficiency bonus. On a hit, your unarmed strike causes one of the following effects of your damage. The target takes bludgeoning damage equal to 1 plus your strength modifier. Grapple. The target is grappled and the grapple's escape DC equals 8 plus your modifier plus your proficiency. Correct. This grapple is possible only if the target is no more than one size larger than you and if you have a free hand to grab the target. You can either push the target 5 feet away or knock the target prone. This shove is possible only if the target is no more than one size larger than you.
Thank you guys for that clarity. That makes it so much better.
Agreed.
It's not hard now.
Okay, so we're going to see the spells that are going to make it into the next edition immediately. Spell list. These are now 3 main spell lists. Oh my god, it's the biggest thing for me. This actually might be the biggest thing for me.
I feel like playing another spellcaster again.
It makes you want to choose from these
Yes.
lists because it isn't just, okay, these are what paladins have. These are what rangers have. We don't have anything that the others do have, but we're coming from the same kind of... adding them to the same list makes it so much easier. Okay, here we go. Arcane. These are the cantrips that are making it immediately. Acid Splash, Blade Ward, Chill Touch, Dancing Lights, Firebolt, Friends, Light, Mage Hand, Mending, Message, Minor Illusion, Poison Spray, Prestidigitation, Ray of Frost, Shocking Grasp, True Strike, and Vicious Mockery.
That's such a game changer.
It is. So these are the, and I believe these are just these are arcane as well. Mm-hmm. These are the first level spells. Sorry guys, I just want to make sure that he's right. I did not specify that. First level spells at the moment for arcane casters: Alarm, Armor of Agathis, Arms of Hadar,
oh my god,
Burning Hands, Charm Person, Chromatic Orb, Color Spray, Comprehend Languages, Detect Magic, Disguise Self, Dissonant Whispers, Expeditious Retreat.
Wizards can dissonant whisper now.
False Life. I mean, bards. I'm thinking bards every time I'm looking at this because now they're included in the same spellcaster.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
it's fantastic.
the wizards have the biggest fucking spell list ever.
All right,
but now they
have an expanded one.
Yes.
Now
Wizards
it's just like
hex.
It's also good for character creation as well. Like you don't feel like, okay, can they really cast that? They just can because they're part of the same...
It's a part of the tree. It's a tree now.
Grease, Hellish Rebuke, Find Familiar, Featherfall, False Life, Fog Cloud, Hex, Identify, Illusionary Script, Jump, Longstrider, Mage Armor, Magic Missile, Protection from Evil and Good, Ray of Sickness, Shield, and Silent Image. Bards
can shield.
Bards can shield.
Bards can shield. Bards have damage. Wait. Bards have damage. Wait.
They have magic.
Bards have damage. Wait.
Biggest thing for me is magic
Bards
missile.
have damage.
If anything, you can still do what bards do and just take magic missile and be still just as effective.
Bards can damage now.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Sleep, Tasha's Hideous Laughter, Tinser's Floating Disc, Thunderwave, Unseen Servant, and Witch Bolt.
Bards can damage.
I agree. Divine Spells. These are the ones that clerics and paladins will be getting, or at least they're looking to include for cantrips and first level spells. Guidance, light, resistance, sacred flame, spare the dying, thaumaturgy, bane, bless, command, compelled duel, cure wounds, detect evil and good, detect magic, detect poison and disease, divine favor, guiding bolt, healing word, heroism, inflict wounds, protection from evil and good, purified food and drink, sanctuary, searing smite, shield of faith, thunderous smite, and wrathful smite. So clerics have smites now.
Cleric smite. Cleric smite.
They have the ability to do it
They have the ability to smite.
by including both the paladins and cleric spellists. They've now expanded so much to each of every single class. Every single class benefits heavily from this. Lastly, we have
Which
the
means
druids.
that also subclasses will probably start having the tag divine,
Yeah,
primal, or arcane now as well.
I'm excited. I'm excited about the potential variety that they can have
Yes,
with
you can
subclasses.
Dip now. You could probably dip.
We got a lot of stuff that we can do in the next couple in the next couple of years when we're playtesting.
God, dude.
This is going to be very exciting. This is great. Primal, which is druid and ranger. Druid and ranger, yeah. Druidcraft, guidance, mending, message, poison spray, produce flame, resistance, shillelagh, spare the dying, thorn whip, animal friendship, create or destroy water, cure wounds, detect. Wait. Yeah, I'm just making sure of something. Sorry. Detect magic, detect poison and disease, ensnaring snipe, entangle, fairy fire, fog cloud, good berry, hail of thorns, healing word, hunter's mark, jump, long strider, purify food and drink, speak with animals, and thunderwave.
So that means you're gonna have your druid using hunter's mark.
Yeah, I don't know how much it'll benefit them, but they could use it.
They can do it. It's concentration, so they can animal.
Okay, that's the last bit we have for their first little snippet of what they're trying to do with the new One D&D, right? One D&D.
One D&D, dude. One D&D.
First things first, amazing. I think this is
new
absolutely good. There's so many good things.
So many.
There's a couple of hiccups here that we're like, oh boy, this is rough.
They're going.
But this is playtest.
Like
I don't expect there not
the
to
D20 test is very confusing. For now, until we get clarity.
I would just do regular at the moment.
Yeah, of course.
There's so many things we need clarity about. The whole
The lucky feet thing.
The lucky feet is now completely different. I didn't get it either. We were both very confused because we both can interpret them two different ways.
Yeah, exactly.
Which means that we're not exactly clear what that means. The D20 test, we're talking about encompassing everything in a D20 check, which means that crits, natural ones affect everything, but they also said different things in the natural 20 aspect.
Exactly, yeah.
Which contradicted the natural 1 bit.
Yeah.
If you're going to encompass everything in the natural 1 bit, encompass everything in the natural 20 bit.
Yeah, taking away crits from spells are just like what?
They're
there are barely any point and click spells that they have so far anyways. Firebolt is only the one I know. Witchbolt is one. Eldritch Blast, and like how many of them are actually like
really effective?
Yeah.
Or used. I mean, a decent amount, but most of them just require saves anyway. So I don't understand why that's not accompanied into just, the attack action. And not just... Because they specified melee attacks.
Yes, exactly. And unarmed strikes.
Yeah. They're talking melee here. Mm-hmm. So that's
So does that mean things like smites, do they no longer crit? If you add a smite that's technically not weapon damage anymore, that's holy magic damage. So is that going towards holy magic damage? You can't smite that now. You can't crit that anymore. Has that ever been a thing, really? Have we ever had the clarity? Have we ever looked to even search if that was a thing? We probably don't even truthfully know. But of course we've been playing like that the entire time, because even if since I'm unsure of whether that's rules written, that's how we played it at our table. That's how we've always played it at our table.
Literally. Okay, let me get this off. That was a lot. We got through it all, though. Not only did we get through it all. Sorry, I have to do it this way since I have to the thing that I hold my my phone up with is broken now.
My
so
life is broken.
I wonder-
Please